Hi, Patrick with Wholesale Shade. In this video, we're going to clean a shade sail. Now, this shade sail has been shading the picnic lunch area here at Wholesale Shade. There's a freeway right over here. It's been here about 5 years, so it's really dirty. It's a porcelain Comtex sail, so kind of on the white, the really light colored end of the color range. So this will be a good test for our 3 methods of cleaning a shade sail. One with just water and a brush, one with a power washer, and the third will be with the Polyfab Shade Sail Cleaner. So we're going to try 3 different areas, each with that different method, and just see which one works the best. So let's get started. All right, we're going to get started with just water, which on a brand new shade sail, just water will take almost everything off because nothing sticks to it when it's brand new. As it gets a little older, so 5 years on this one, we're going to see what we can do with just a hose. So I'm going to try and just hose it off. Now obviously, most shade sails are overhead rather than a side curtain like this. So you would probably want to start at a far corner and work your way back so you're not painting yourself into a corner. So this is pretty easy to do. I've heard that some companies in Australia have a big jacuzzi and they throw the shade sails in there and let it percolate for a day, and that washes away a lot of the dirt. I've never seen that being used. So you can see it is getting it cleaner than it was. Now we've got some extra gunk right here, so let's try and hose that off. So I'm spending quite a bit of time in just this small area. If you had your whole shade sail to do, you may not want to spend this much time, but so far it looks to me like you're going to get off the loose dirt, maybe not the pressed in grime, whatever that is. So I think we're about the limit of the hose. So just a hose, plain water, makes a huge difference. It's not completely clean, but still much better than it was. We're moving on to the next method, which is the Polyfab Pro Shade Sail Cleaner. And the instructions say to mix it 50-50 with water, which I've done here in the spray bottle. And it just says spray it on, wait a couple minutes, don't let it dry, and then use a brush and hose it off. It doesn't say that specifically and exactly, but pretty close. So we're going to cover the same area. All right, we'll let that dry a little bit. Okay, so we've let this sit a little while. It's not dry, still wet, so we're going to scrub. Give a little extra attention to these 2 spots right here. All right, let's hose it off. I'm gonna hit it with the brush one more time. I can still see some foam coming out of it, so all the cleaner is not out of it yet. All right, so there's the Polyfab Pro Shade Cell Cleaner. We'll move on to the next step, which is the power washer. Our last method is the power washer. So no soap. We're just going to start the motor up, run the power washer. This one goes up to, I think, 2,000 pounds. So it's not a super industrial power washer, kind of a regular power washer. So the motor will be running, so it'll be a little loud to hear once I'm started up, but we'll just clean this same area and then we'll compare all three areas and see which one worked best. All right, so start this up. Gas on. Cold start. So there we go. That was a full-on mid-range power washer. I had it pretty close. Looks pretty clean. Didn't poke any holes, so about 5 years old. So it shouldn't be anywhere near the end of its lifespan. Held together pretty well. So now let's step back and evaluate all three methods. All right, so here we have our three methods. This was just plain water, power washer, and the Polyfab Pro Shade Cell Cleaner 50-50 mix with a brush. So I'd have to say the power washer did a great job. The caution is that you can rip the fabric with it, right? It's a very high pressure stream of water, but it looks okay. I'm not telling you to go kill your shade sail with a giant power washer, but with some reason, it looks like it worked just fine. When I talk to the Australians about cleaning shade sails, they've had shade sails for a few more years than the United States. Not only do they do the jacuzzi method, but they also talked about if your shade sail's overhead, take one corner down and rinse the top off and put that corner back up and then do the bottom. That way they're hitting both sides of the fabric. In our test, we only did the one side. So now we're looking at where do we go from here. The power washer was very quick, easy, once we had the gas in the machine. So, right now I think this is the way to go. So I think maybe we'll clean the other areas with the power washer, see if we can't improve on them, and then maybe try both sides and see where we are. I think it's pretty clear that the power washer is going to be the winner in this competition. So I wanted to stop here and show, just the first cleaning of the power washer, and then on this side, it appears that it cleaned it better than this section. So I'm going to keep going, but it looks like the power washer is the quick, better way to go. So while we still have everything set up, I'm going to go on the back side and wash a little bit of the back side and see if that makes a difference. So this was clean on the back side. Now I do see some holes are opening up, which may be why they say don't use a power washer. This is the first time I've ever cleaned a shade sail, and my takeaway from this is it's a pretty big effort to clean a whole shade sail. This is fairly small. I think it's about a 12 by 18. You know, it'll take you a couple hours to clean it in your backyard or on your restaurant patio, but it does make a difference. So were we to clean this whole shade sail, it would look much better afterwards, and could probably get another couple years out of it before I have to clean it again. All right, so we tried our 3 methods. You can see the results here, and then we ran the power washer over all of them. This seems to be the best method for cleaning. It may not be the best method for longevity of the shade sail. You do need to be careful. Maybe not a full industrial 2000 PSI pressure washer like this, maybe a small electric. If you don't have access to the power washer, then the second best was the shade sail cleaner. So that does a good job with a brush. This is almost the worst case scenario. There is a white shade cloth, but this is the porcelain that does show dirt pretty easily. So maybe if your shade sail was a dark green or a blue, you wouldn't see this difference. But clearly, cleaning your shade sail makes a world of difference. So as part of Shade Sail University, where we try and be a resource for you to learn the ins and outs, here we've done our 3-way test. So let me make this clear. By no means am I endorsing a power washer to go kill your shade sail. That's on you to judge if that's the right way to clean your shade sail. Especially an older one is probably going to not be as strong as a 5-year-old shade sail. So go online, wholesaleshade.com, check out Shade Sail University. We have tons of other videos to help you get into the shade sail business. And that's our shade sail cleaning video. Thanks.
Okay.
On to method number 2. So we're moving on to method number 2, which is the Polyfab Shade Sail Cleaner. The instructions are to mix it 50-50 with water, which
do that again because of
I like those bloopers in there, but we're trying to be we're trying to be professional.
Okay, go.
Ooh. Always check the gas. A gas motor needs gas to run.